What's up, guys? This is Brendan, and welcome to your last Java tutorial. My gosh. At this point, after this video, I think I can safely say that if you are ready to, if you feel yourself are ready, you can go ahead and begin to make games with Java. Go ahead and teach yourself that graphics library, graphics engine, game engine, whatever you have to do. I believe that if you feel confident after my tutorials, you are absolutely ready to get going making games. So this simulator right here, this rabbit simulator, I'm not going to go through, as you can see I already finished it, I'm not going to go through, type every line of code with you guys because it's over 200 lines and that would be absolutely ridiculous. So I'm going to post the code in my website, link will be in the description, so be sure to check that out. Make sure you know, go into the description, click on the link, go to the code. Okay, but I'm going to just kind of run through, tell you how I did it. So I had 5 classes. I just kept first class, but like my main class where I just had my main method, so kind of like a home base class, I guess you could say. Then I had my rabbit class, I had my map class, I had my mutant rabbit class also. Hang on, I want to expand all these. I had my mutant rabbit, which extended rabbit, and I had my point. So I'll just go through this real quick. So my point class really essentially only had two instance variables, x and y, and they had very self-explanatory purpose. Just get, set, constructors, all that good stuff. And I guess I'll skip to my map class. So I had this private char mapped. I used chars because the only things you needed to go in the map were x's, o's, and m's, and blank spaces is what I used for if there wasn't a rabbit there. So you are only using one character, so you can use char. And I had this array list for free points. It was that was one of the more difficult parts of this challenge, was getting the free points, because that's kind of tricky because you have to make sure that the points open, and you know, what if there aren't any open points, but how do you keep it random while getting open points? So I'll go through that in a sec. Real quick, I'll just touch on rabbit. So you needed a unique first name and last name. So I had male first names, female first names, and then last names. I just created a static string list of all of these. I don't know exactly how many, maybe like 20 to 25 names for each of these arrays. So I just defined those right there. And then in the constructor, when I generated if it was male or female, or I had 2 different constructors. I had one that randomized it, and then I also had one that you could choose, because you need to be able to have that functionality to choose if you have one female and one male to start. So I had this for the first 2 rabbits I created, and then this constructor right here is for the random rabbits that you are creating throughout the simulator. So I calculate if it's male or female using just math.random, and I get either 0 or 1. And if I generated 0, I made it male, and if I generated 1, I made it female. To represent male and female, I just had a Boolean male, and it would be true if it was male, false if it was female. And so what I did is to set the first name. If it was male, I reached out to the male first name list, and I set it equal to a random element. And to do that, I generated a random number from 0 to the length of the list, and I did that for male and female. And then I set its x and y to its coordinate. So that was another instance. I had a point instance within my rabbit class, and I had some other random methods in here, like if it should die. How I did that, like I said, with the percent thing, where its percent chance of dying is equal to its age, I just generated a number from 0 to 100, and if age was greater than that number, then it would die. And let's see, let me go through the main method here. So I have all of these different things. I created a scanner to reference the enter, to see when the user hit enter. I had a round number, and should continue just in case the map got full. I have a while loop that continuously runs. Once the user hits enter, it'll run another instance, and if as long as the map isn't full, it'll do another round within that loop. I had a new map, obviously, and I created 3 different logs just so I could kind of have those be sorted. I used array lists, and each round I'd add all of the different, I guess you could say, log of actions that happened. So when a bunny aged up, I added it to age log. When a bunny was born, I added that to birth log. And when a rabbit died, I added that to death log. And then at the very, very end, let me just scroll down here and skip to that. Right down here, you can see I am like kind of doing some cleanup. I'm removing rabbits from the map and adding rabbits to the map. And then I am right down here, I am printing out all of my logs with these enhanced for loops in the array lists. And right before that, I display the map. And so let me just kind of run through here real quick. So right inside the while loop, I have my enhanced for loop. So every round, all I'm doing is just iterating over every single rabbit that is in this main array list right here, array list rabbits. This one was extremely important. So what I did is I just kind of ran through it. So I thought of all of the different things that could happen. So first I figured if it's going to die, I should just take care of that right away, and then it would be done with that specific rabbit. And so what I did is I called upon that method that I created, should die. And if that was true, then I added it to this rabbits to die. So if you remember in my ArrayList tutorial, you can't be removing, adding, taking away instances that are in your array list. So I can't be adding and removing rabbits from this array list rabbits while I'm in this enhanced for loop. You can't edit array lists while you're iterating over them in these loops. It's not a good idea. And so actually it just won't work. Not only is it not a good idea, it won't work. So I add it to this separate array list to, at the end, I'll take care of it once I'm out of this enhanced for loop. I'll take care of that later. So that's why I have these separate array lists instead of just deleting them right away. And then I add that to the death log. So I created this parse name just to, this will essentially just print out the rabbit's name. So this will say, like, if the rabbit's name was like John Smith, it will just say John Smith just died. Okay, so if it died, then it's done. It's going to skip this else if and this elf and this else, and it'll just go to the next rabbit. But if it's not going to die, this is testing to see if this particular rabbit is an instance of a mutant rabbit. Then what it's going to do is it's going to kill a rabbit. And so what I did is I just tested to make sure that this rabbit wasn't already going to die. If it had previously died of old age, then it wasn't going to die. So I used a do while loop, and it'll just gets a random rabbit in the rabbits array list, and it adds it to rabbits to die, and then that adds a little different death log. It will say that like John Smith was killed by a mutant rabbit. And then down here what I do is, this is just the rest of everything that doesn't have to do with death. I age every rabbit up that hasn't died or killed another rabbit, I guess you could say. I age up the rest of the rabbits, and then if it is female, I have the code here to add a new rabbit, because every female gives birth every round. So what I have here is I get a new point, and then at this new point, actually I just realized I didn't add the if it's greater than or equal to 2. And so what I also need to do is have and rabbit dot get, oops, I don't have get age. Guess I might as well just add that now. So public int get age and return age. So what I'll do is and rabbit dot get age is greater than or equal to 2. Remember that the rabbit has to be female and greater than or equal to 2, and if that's true, then what's going to happen is it's going to generate a new rabbit. So I have this new point, and then I call upon this map.getFreePoint. And so how I created that, this was probably the trickiest part of the whole simulator, was this free point thing. You're just kind of wrapping your head around it. So I got the size of free points, and then I made sure that size wasn't equal to 0, because this free points, I created this up here, and this is just a list of all of the free points on the map. And if the size is equal to 0, then it just returns a negative number. And if I test back in my first class, if it's negative, I know that the simulator should end because the map is full. And the way I keep track of the free points what I do is every time I add rabbits to the map, what it does is it removes that free point from the map. I accomplish this down here in this, actually in the same method. What I do is when I return the free point, what I do is I return free points.remove, and whenever you remove an element, this method actually returns the element you're removing. So not only do I return that element, but I'm also removing it from this array. And the reason I can do that is the only reason I am calling this method, this get free point, I call that method every time I'm adding a rabbit. So essentially anytime I add a rabbit at that point, it's removing it from that free points array. And also when a rabbit dies, I add that point back in. Once a rabbit dies. So I think that was the trickiest part. Beyond that, that's pretty much it. I take care of some things down here with my array lists. I remove rabbits from rabbits to die from the map, and I add rabbits from rabbits to add. Rabbits to add, I also do the same thing. When a rabbit's born, I don't add it right to that rabbits array list. I add it to rabbits to add. And then once I'm out of that for loop, iterating over all of it, and I'm completely done, I add all of them at the same time. And then I also clear out all of these logs and rabbits to add and rabbits to die so they're fresh and ready to use for the next time, because you don't want to be adding the same rabbit more than once. And then, that's pretty much it. So let's just kind of see how mine works. Alright, so let's try this out. We got Richard Wilson and Bethany Robinson ready to start our simulator. So if we hit enter, you'll see Bethany's, now that she's 2 years old, she gave birth to Kristen Brown. And I'm not going to go through every name because as you see, they start growing out of nowhere. So let's see. This thing's getting crazy. As you can see down here, we have an experiment airborne. And what I did is I made every mutant rabbit be called experiment error. And you'll be able to find its M right there. I got that M for mutant. So we have our mutant rabbit. So next round, someone, or a rabbit, is going to die. And Marissa King, unfortunately, was killed by our mutant rabbit. So just keep hitting enter, and we have so many logs that our map's getting pushed up here, but just keep hitting enter. Let's see, so our map's getting pretty close to full. Enter again, probably only got a couple more rounds left before it fills up completely. Let's see, we still only have one mutant? Looks like we only have one mutant still. Yeah, usually a couple sprout up, but looks like they're getting off easy this time. There's still only one. There's another one sprouted up, so now someone else new is going to die also. And as you can see, like 3 rabbits just randomly died because their number generated was, it would be less than their age. So you can see we got a couple M's here now. Hit enter. And I think that's it. Looks like we're done. Our simulation has ended because we reached the, now it ended. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, it was over. Just couldn't scroll down all the way. Our simulation ended because, unfortunately, our map got full. But I mean, look at that. That's crazy. I think that's so cool. I don't know. I just really like the simulator. So regardless of whether or not you could solve this, as this was a pretty tough program to create, I hope you kind of learned a little bit about problem solving and programming in these tutorials. If you really like these tutorials, feel free to check out my website some more and subscribe, like, we could do whatever you got to do. But really hope you guys enjoyed Java. I enjoyed teaching these to you guys. I had a lot of fun. So let me know what you want to see next, and good luck with game programming, guys.